The preview of what should be the blockbuster game of this group stage. It's Bayern against Barça over in Munich. It should be a very entertaining one, and we're hoping for a little bit of revenge here in Barcelona. I'll introduce you our panel for this afternoon, and Natalia Skorowska. How you doing?
Yeah, hello. It's good to see you guys, also you guys on Barça TV Live, and happy to be here.
Spencer, as I say, should be the most entertaining game in the group. Maybe this one and the one played at Camp Nou?
Yeah, this one for it being the return, and I think everybody in the world is looking forward to this game. And like you said, there's a little element of revenge that we're all looking forward to, hopefully imparting on those in Munich.
Well, we're coming to you live on Barça TV Plus and on YouTube. On the YouTube chat, you can let us know from 1 to 10 levels of how much you want revenge against Bayern Munich. Let us know, 1 to 10. Do you think that the past is in the past, or do you want that revenge? We're going to be bringing you the press conferences, the preview press conferences with Ronald Araujo and Xavi Hernandez, and we'll be showing you the live training session as well. And over in Munich is Bruno Ballester. Bruno, how are you doing?
Hello and good afternoon here from the press room of the Allianz Arena. In about 10 minutes, the first press conference of Ronald Araujo is going to start here. Then manager Xavi Hernandez before starting training session at 7 p.m. Central European time at the Allianz Arena. Of course, the team knows really well this ground, as they played here last season in the group stage was week 6, and unfortunately Barça were knocked out in that game. But today the team has arrived at 1 p.m. more or less local time here in Munich, with big expectations, of course, to see Robert Lewandowski. All the fans and many peñas also from Poland are going to travel to the game tomorrow. So yeah, there is a big name here that is Lewandowski. All the media also from here, from Germany, asking, and they want to see these first games of Lewandowski for Barça after 8 years playing here at Bayern Munich. So yeah, the name, of course, and the main protagonist is Robert Lewandowski. We're gonna take now our seats here on the press room, and remember, of course, that after that press conference of Ronald Araujo and also Xavi Hernandez, the team will train here. The first 15 minutes will be open, of course, with the coverage here live on this show. And tomorrow is going to be the big game, week 2 of the Champions League between Bayern Munich and Barça, the two teams that are leading this Group C with 3 points after the victory of the Blaugranas against Victoria Pilsen and the one from the German side against Internazionale.
Well, thank you, Bruno. We'll talk to you later throughout the training session. As Bruno said, Barça did travel this morning to Munich. All the available players. It's been a field trip for everyone. A good opportunity for team building as well, in a situation which is optimal, really and truthfully, for Barça, coming off of those very positive results.
Yes, especially with this big win against Pilsen, because as we know, Bayern won just 2-0 against Inter, so we are at the first place, and hopefully to be at the first place after tomorrow's game. Yes.
Yeah, this is the first test, right? For Barça, for this new season, it's the first opportunity, and I think Bayern is just as motivated as ever.
Yes.
Especially considering who's coming back, and especially considering what's happened in the past and how they would prefer to keep it that way.
Yeah.
As we said, the team traveled this morning and will stay in Munich overnight to prepare for tomorrow's game, which kicks off at 9 p.m. at the Allianz Arena. Lots of speculation, of course, after the changes that Xavi made in the lineup the other day as to what starting 11 he might put out there. Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I think we are going to see Koundé back at the right back at the defense, and then Araujo and Eric Garcia as central backs, I think. And also there are some rumors that Balde is going to start at the left.
That's the question.
Yes.
Is it Balde? Is it Jordi Alba? Is it Marcos Alonso? I mean, that position, I think, is the one where most people are wondering. And it's funny because I think for the most part everybody realizes the front three is set. It's probably going to be with Lewandowski up front, Dembele and Rafinha on either side of him. And the midfield, most people are in agreement where they believe Pedri, Gavi, Bussi. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, we need some physicality in there, so maybe put Kessié in instead of Gavi. And every time I've heard that, I just go back to watching Gavi play just about every game that we've seen for the last 365 days. There's nobody more physical on the pitch than he is. So I don't see how you upgrade the physicality if you leave him out. It's just a question of whether or not you trust a guy of his age, despite his immense talent, to take on a big game like this against Bayern.
Showing you the arrival of the team in Munich today. By the way, guys, if you have any thoughts on the live chat, what the starting 11 should be tomorrow, just type it in and Spencer will read some out. Let us know your thoughts. Bayern Munich coming off of 3 consecutive draws in the Bundesliga, which is something very rare. They're still top of the table, but tied with 3 other teams. They did win their Champions League opener against Inter Milan, but they have been a little bit wobbly in the Bundesliga.
Yes, but we can't forget the amazing start. I mean, they scored so many goals. For example, this game against Bochum, when they scored, I think, 7 goals or something like this. And that was obviously pretty amazing. And but they are always, a very dangerous team in the Champions League. I mean, that's always, I think, their primary competition since they are winning the Bundesliga. I mean, always. So obviously, the Champions League is more challenging for them, and I'm sure they are going to be highly motivated tomorrow. Today, I read some quotes from Thomas Müller from his press conference, as he said that Sadio Mane was warning him just not to, pass accidentally to Robert Lewandowski during tomorrow's game. So, yeah, why not? He can do it.
That's definitely going to be an issue as well. And we heard Thomas Müller the other day voicing his frustration as how the team had let in a goal in their latest draw against Stuttgart at the weekend. They conceded a penalty in the dying minutes of the game. It's probably positive for Barca. There's a little bit frustration boiling up there.
Well, let's take it one step at a time and let's go slow. First of all, they haven't lost yet this season. They started.
Neither have we.
That's true, and that's what makes this game so exciting, because I think both teams, a lot of times you would say a big game like this, you need a couple of extra weeks for these teams to find their form, but we haven't quite gotten there yet. Bayern started off with a win in the Super Cup against Leipzig, and since then, when I look at their schedule of games, the initial 6-1 victory over Frankfurt, that's a statement, and then there are a couple of draws. Mönchengladbach has had up and down years. They're a decent team though, and Union Berlin is on top of the table right now, and partly because they drew 1-1 with Bayern, and that's a team that, as of about I believe it was 3 years ago, were sitting in the 2nd division in Germany, and they're now a European mainstay at this point. They're competing every year.
Well, Bayern Munich are tied at the top of the Bundesliga with 3 other teams, and they're tied with us at the top of the Champions League group stage after they won their opener against Inter Milan. We are showing you footage of the press room where in just a few minutes Ronald Araujo and Xavi Hernandez will take the hot seat and answer the questions of the press. We'll be hearing from them in just a second. Should we talk a little bit about what happened on Saturday, the football, because we've heard that the fan is making positive steps towards his recovery, the fan who suffered a heart attack, unfortunately. 4-0 win, another one for Barca.
Yeah, and another clean sheet.
And another clean sheet.
That's, I think, very important to notice, and a very great start. I mean, in this season for Marc-André ter Stegen, since he has, I think, how many clean sheets?
4 out of 6.
Yes, 4 out of 6. So I think it's a very, very good result, and hopefully he continues like this. I mean, not only in the Champions League, obviously that 1 goal we conceded against Pilsen, but maybe and hopefully tomorrow he's going to be able to.
Well, hopefully.
Another one. Yes.
Obviously, the opposition tomorrow is top level. Bayern Munich. They like attacking football. They like to take the ball away from you. That's one of the challenges that Barca will have to face tomorrow, the battle for possession. And they are very dangerous up front with the likes of Müller, with Mane, with Leroy Sané, who's doing very well at the beginning of this season. Barca coming off of that 4-0 win at the weekend, Spence, in a first half in which was not the best, let's say, but they got the job done in the second half, especially when Xavi made the triple substitution, bringing on Levy, Dembele and Pedri.
Yeah, we would, in the US, we would probably call the first half of that game a rock fight.
It was kind of
opening weekend of the NFL this past weekend, and that's more of a American football term. You just had 2 teams that were crunching each other with tackles. It wasn't beautiful football. There were very few chances. And then in the second half, things just started to turn, especially for Barça when, big surprise when Lewandowski came into the game. But I thought that there were so many players that played in that game who, if Barça need to come up with an alternative solution tomorrow, they now have a little bit of energy under their belt. They've gotten themselves loose. The likes of Frankie de Jong, who's now started 2 games in a row, Ferran and Ansu and Memphis all on the up front. And then, again, we'll see about Balde, but there's a lot of options now for Barça to go if that first 11 doesn't work out the way they want it to in the first 45 minutes.
Well, it is a difficult puzzle for Xavi to put together, the choice of the starting lineup, who to leave out. Really and truthfully, he always talks about wanting a deep squad, but he talks about as well the players who are left on the bench who deserve to play as well, and that it's always tough to make those decisions. Let's rewind a little bit more than we did just now watching the Cadiz highlights. Let's take a look at what happened last Wednesday at the Spotify Camp Nou with that 5-0 win, that convincing victory in the Champions League opener against Victoria Pilsen. Barça took about 11 minutes to score their first goal. Frank Kessié scoring his first, and what a night it was for Lewandowski as well.
Yes, obviously first hat-trick for Barcelona, and obviously first win in this Champions League edition, and I mean, that was a very special night for him, and hopefully he's going to give us more joy this season. And obviously tomorrow all eyes are going to be on him because because he is going to play against his ex-team, and I'm really wondering how the audience is going to react.
Well, I mean, you talk about all eyes being on him as well. 600 Polish Barca fans are traveling to Munich as well.
Yes.
So
they got almost all the
tickets.
Yeah.
Spence, obviously important in this game. The goal difference, the fact that we got 5 goals, a goal difference of 4, which at the end of the group might be an important factor.
Yeah, it does go about 2 or 3 rungs down the ladder in terms of depending on who you're tied with, when that becomes important. But I just think scoring goals in the form that they've done it is what's important to them right now. I mean, you watch the way that this team continued to move forward against Pilsen. There weren't many instances in the game where you felt that they were running out of ideas.
Well, I mean, that's a brilliant idea, the one that, that Dembélé had to set up Ferran Torres.
No doubt the goal of the game for me. And Lewandowski had 3 of them. And still, Ferran, I thought, made himself known once again. I think people are forgetting that he does have the talent, and he could be a potential factor off the bench as well.
We are waiting for Ronald Araujo and Xavi Hernandez to take the hot seat in the press room and answer the questions of the press. We'll be listening to them in just a couple of minutes, I'd say. It's scheduled for 6:15 local time. Bayern Munich, tough opposition. Obviously, no need to talk about the specific results, but we don't have fond memories of what has happened recently against Bayern.
Yeah, I mean, some of the memories are quite terrible, I would say.
Yeah.
And if we look at the head-to-head, I mean, it's not looking very good.
We've never beaten them in a Champions League group stage game. We've lost all 4 games against them in a Champions League group stage game.
And what's the common factor among those 4 games that is now a different factor today? Is that Robert Lewandowski?
Because a couple of those games come back in the 1998-99 season. So yeah.
Fair enough. But if we're talking recent history,
Robert Lewandowski wasn't on Barca then either. No, that is true.
And if I'm not wrong, we've never won at Allianz Arena.
At the Allianz Arena either. No. I mean, tomorrow, if we do manage to pull off the win, which I'm confident that we can, we have a strong squad and we're on a good run, it would be a first, most definitely. What are the fans thinking, Spence?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of positivity coming from Barca, and it's mainly because, let's see, 5-2 Barca win from Yusuf. Let's see, I've got 2-0 or 2-1 from Piotr Kwiatkowski. That's got to be one of the Polish fans going over to the game,
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get any footage from them tomorrow. in the pre-game match. And by the way, yes, do send in your score predictions on the live chat. I'm sure it's going to be a tough one, but predict some wins, guys.
If anybody's going to the game tomorrow, maybe you're from Poland and you're about to head on over to Munich, let us know.
Yeah, do.
Love to hear from you.
Do, most definitely, most definitely. Barca, obviously, you've talked about it. Natalia will have a difficult task in front of them because the attacking players are of different caliber. As we said, Sané, Mané, Thomas Müller, Gnabry as well. These are the type of players we haven't faced yet so far this season. But on the other hand, we've shown signs of solidness at the back.
Yes, exactly, and I'm sure the defense build of Koundé, Araujo, and Eric Garcia, and Balde, because I think that is going to be Xavi's choice for tomorrow. I think it's something that we can feel safe of, yes, but obviously we need to notice that Bayern Munich has also a very good defense. I mean, De Ligt, Lucas Hernandez, and Upamecano. I mean, they are both top-class players, all top-class players, and yeah, we are going to face a very strong team at the back and in the attack. So, I mean, Barca needs to give 100% or even more, to beat them.
I do remember how solid Upamecano was in those two games in which we faced Bayern last year in the group stage, those 2-3-0 defeats. Another difficult task for Barca tomorrow, I mentioned it before, is actually keeping the ball. Bayern is a team that likes to have the ball, and they're lightning quick when they manage to get forward. So whoever plays in that trio in midfield, if it's Busquets, Pedri, Xavi, Kessié, Frenkie de Jong, whoever it is, it's a mighty task to try and win that battle for possession.
Yeah, I'm seeing Mark who says 2-1 for FCB, but I'm not sure which FCB.
Oh, well, I'm assuming they're talking about us.
I think he's making a joke. I think that's a little play on letters there.
Sneaky.
Because, yeah. But the other thing I was thinking too, in terms of this game, is because both teams have to adjust to players coming in, new players. The same goes for Bayern. Barca have gelled very quickly together, but Sadio Mane was a player within a system at Liverpool for years, and then he goes over to Bayern and he's not struggling, but there is always a sense of chemistry that you have to feel out when you're joining a new team, and Bayern do have some new pieces that they have to work through as well.
I was just talking about that battle of keeping the ball, and what Barca have shown us this season is that when they are struggling to get it, they can be very fast to get out on the break. For example, the game against Sevilla.
Yes, but I mean, the Barca legacy is having the ball. So if we are going to stick to it, I'm sure we are going to win tomorrow. Because, as you said, keeping the ball is a clue for tomorrow's game.
No, definitely.
If we go back to last year, all competitions, every game they played, Barca had less than 50% of the ball on 5 occasions all season. 2 of those 5 games were against Bayern, where they were 48-48, and that was still, let's call it what it is, that was still after they were trailing and trying to get possession to get the ball back to score. And that's something that this year I think they've been able to control the ball even more than they did last year, which for every other game was what they're used to doing.
Most definitely. But as I was saying, I mean, it is comforting at least to know that maybe you don't have the ball as much in some stretches of the game because Bayern are playing at home. They're very good at keeping it as well. But if you recover it, you have, as Eric Garcia mentioned, those 3 airplanes up front who can just fly forward in Dembélé, Rafinha, and Lewandowski. Ansu Fati is another very fast player there. So you've got those weapons that can get you the ball from A to B in the question of seconds and be lethal with it.
6 games this year, quickly. Possession. Rayo, 67.
This is
Barca's possession. Rayo, 67. Sociedad, 59. Valladolid, 68. Sevilla, 54. Pilsen, 75. And Cádiz, 69.
Do you have how many shots Barca has taken in each of those games? Because that's the interesting one as well. Barca has been able to create no end of chances throughout these games, obviously scoring a huge amount of goals, and that's one of the things that we might struggle with a little bit more tomorrow with that strong Bayern defense, and if they take the ball away from us.
They've taken 116 shots.
In 6 games.
In 6 games. 45 of them have hit the target, and in terms of what they've allowed, they've only had 1 game that they've played this year where they've allowed double-digit shots. That was against Sociedad, where they gave up a goal. But only 14 shots that Ter Stegen has had to face on target this year. So it's the possession, it's turning it into offense and chances, and it's not allowing the counterattacks to hurt them, which so far this year we haven't seen.
It's so you say 116 divided by 6. It's just over 19 shots per game that Barca are creating, out of which over 7 are on target.
You did that all in your head, right? You didn't.
Yeah,
you didn't
exactly.
have a calculator.
I'm not cheating. We're showing you footage of the press room where we're waiting for Ronald Araujo and Xavi Hernandez to step in and answer the questions of the press. They are running just a little bit late. So the training is scheduled. The training session is scheduled for 7. So that usually starts on time when it's a Champions League game. So I'm sure that in just a question of minutes, we will have Araujo and Xavi in the hot seat. Araujo, one of the players who was involved in last year's games, for example, he'll be one of those who will be wanting revenge.
Yes, and especially I wanted to say that, of course, we lost both games 3-0, but he was one of the best players at the pitch, I remember.
Yes.
So he was one of those players who was, taking care of Robert Lewandowski, and I think he did. As I said, we lost 3-0, but he did pretty good last year. So
how much do you think that burns in the Araujos, the Busquets, the Pedris, the Frankie de Jongs, the Gabis, all of the players who were fielded last year, the Dembélés, all the players who were fielded last year, how Bayern just basically dominated those 2 games?
Well, they're looking for revenge. They're also looking to be pragmatic when they play this game. I mean, in the end, they're going to go for 3 points, but when you get down to the final minutes of the game, there's a chance that a draw may be the best case scenario, depending on how this game plays out. What I'd want to ask you is, I wasn't here in Barcelona when the Champions League started last year. I was here for the second game that was in Bayern that determined whether or not Barca would play in the Europa League or in the Champions League. What was the sentiment going into that first game? Because right now, everybody's spirits are high heading into this. That was the first Champions League game of the year. What were people feeling?
I think you're always positive when you go into the game because you have hope that your team can dominate. I think the first one was at Camp Nou, the second one was in Munich.
Yeah.
Then I remember the first one at Camp Nou. I mean, you just positive. You're hoping that your team will do well. Obviously knowing that Bayern are a top team in Europe and it's going to be very complicated. But no, I think there was a sense of hope. And in the last game, I remember that Bayern had nothing at stake and Barca needed the win to get through to the next stage in the Champions League. So there was that hope that maybe Bayern Munich would come out a little bit more relaxed, that the team would be able to be competitive. But in the end, Bayern dominated. I mean, it's a fact. Bayern did dominate.
Well, and I just remember that second game against Bayern last year, and it was just the idea that they were still trying to figure themselves out who they were. Xavi had just recently taken over the club, and there wasn't enough time for him to do what he wanted to do, I think, definitely, in that game. And because of that, going into the game, there was a little bit of a sense of pessimism, I thought, going around the fans and the city.
I think it was more a question of the possibility of being knocked out of the Champions League, which was a first in many, many years, and it ended up happening. But anyway, let's not dwell on it too much because we are back in the Champions League and we're looking good, Natalia.
No, that's my point. It's good. Everyone's excited for this one now.
I mean, we need to remember it, but let's focus on today, this year's edition, and let's focus on the tomorrow's game. And as you guys said, we have positive feelings this year, and obviously we did very well on summer market this year. Okay. And I think it's going to give us some nice results in Champions League. So yeah, I'm optimistic.
Definitely. We are still waiting for Araujo and Xavi Hernandez to come out. Maybe they're doing game planning towards tomorrow. It needs some extra preparation, this game. And another one that we can't keep our eyes off of is that Inter Milan Victoria Pilsen game, which ideally for us should end in a draw, really and truthfully.
Yes, definitely, because that it's going to put Inter at it depends on because they are going to be, because I'm thinking about the goal average, but if it's going to be a draw, so then I think Pilsen is going to
if it's a draw, Inter would still be -2.
Yes, but
but you want Pilsen to win that game. Pilsen is obviously the fourth tier team in this group. They were coming from the fourth quadrant in the drawing, or in the what do you call it? Why can't I think of the word?
In the draw.
In the draw. Thank you. And any win that they get against the other two teams that aren't Barça are exactly what Barça need to make sure that they can get into the top two.
Well, we will know the result of that game once the game in Munich kicks off tomorrow, because Victoria Pilsen and Inter Milan starts at 6:45 in the evening. Just a reminder, in a few minutes, we're assuming we're going to hear from Ronald Araujo and Xavi Hernandez in the press room, and at 7 p.m. we will be offering you the first 15 minutes of the training session at the Allianz Arena, a chance to see all of our players prepare for tomorrow's game. Xavi's taken everyone there. In the last game, Sergi Roberto hadn't travelled, but he's back in the squad. Everyone is available for tomorrow's game, and Xavi wants unity.
Yes, and I think it's good for team spirit. I mean, no one is left. I mean, no one is left behind. Yeah. Everyone is traveling, so I think it's a clear message from Xavi that he wants the team united, especially for such an opponent.
And as you can see on your screens right now, right underneath me here, you can dress like our players. You can win the third kit. You have a link in the live chat, a pinned comment there in the live chat, so you can click, register, sign in, and take part in this draw in which you can win the third kit, in which Barça will be playing tomorrow like we did last Saturday on Cádiz. And Spencer, I'd say it brought us some good luck.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought the avocado socks worked quite well. What are you wearing today? What is that?
I'm wearing Messi socks.
Oh, wow.
Iconic Messi socks.
How many different socks do you have?
In Blaugrana, obviously, because I wouldn't wear PSG ones. Right, Araujo is stepping into the press room, so let's hear what he has to say.
Good afternoon, bona tarda. Benvinguts a la roda de premsa del jugador Ronald Araujo. Comencem. Sí. Aquí. Sorry. Here, Bruno.
Buenas tardes, Bruno Ballester en directa para Barça TV, Barça TV Plus. El equipo ha empezado muy bien a nivel defensivo esta temporada.
The team started defensively very strong this season.
Partidos, solo 2 goles encajados.
Just conceding 2 goals against a great opponent like Bayern. Do you expect to keep up this performance? We're playing at a very high level. We knew we had to improve from last season, not conceding as many goals. We have a lot of capable players up front who can score, so as defenders we have to do our job. Tomorrow we're going to try to do the same like we have been. We're working hard, and hopefully tomorrow we won't concede any goals.
Xavi Lemus de Televisión de Cataluña, de TV3. ¿Hasta qué punto el equipo también tiene ganas de enfrentarse al Bayern para dejar atrás?
Are you guys looking forward to face an opponent like Barça and seek revenge in a way?
Bueno, creo que esta competición siempre es difícil.
This competition is always difficult. Great opponents, and Bayern is one of them.
Como te digo, estamos trabajando bien.
Like I said, we're working very well. These kind of games make us stronger. We know where we're coming from. I think it's a great game where we can impose our style of play and show that we're also a great squad.
Hola Ronald, ¿qué tal? Aquí, Adri Alves de la cadena SER. El año pasado vinisteis aquí, hace todavía no un año.
Last year you came here, hasn't been a year. You lost 3-0. The difference is that Lewandowski isn't playing against you, but as a teammate, for somebody like you who has suffered him, are you more comfortable having him as a teammate? We all know the talent that Lewandowski has. It's great to have him with us. We suffered him in the past as an opponent. We know of his quality. We know what he can give to us, and he's showing that. We're happy he's with us, and we hope that he can continue to help us.
Hola, Ronald, Elena Condis de la cadena COPE. El estado anímico de los culés ha cambiado radicalmente, ¿no? Respecto al año pasado, que debutaste.
Culés are a lot more optimistic now.
¿A qué crees que se debe? ¿A los fichajes, a Lewandowski?
What do you think? What do you pin it down to? Xavi, the players, the new arrivals. What is the cause for this change in mood? I think it's a mix of everything. Xavi returned the excitement and joy to all Barça fans, and also with the new arrivals, we brought in a lot of quality players, and the young players that we have, we're getting a lot of experience. So it's a combination of things that make the culés more excited.
Fernando Martínez, Onda Cero. Una de las posiciones donde más se ha reforzado el equipo es en la de central. ¿A ti te preocupa todo ello o sientes que...
Barça have got a lot of competition in the central defense. Is that something that worries you?
¿Qué piensas?
No, la verdad que no me preocupa.
No, it doesn't worry me. It's always great to have competition within the squad. It makes you, it gets the best out of you. We needed to improve the defensive line. We tried to work on it and keep the score sheet at 0 in our case. It's part of football, and I welcome it.
Hola, Ronald, Ferran Martínez de Mundo Deportivo. Tienes 23 años.
You're 23 years old. You arrived at the first team through the B squad. You're now a first team player. You're now playing against Bayern Munich. How do you feel? Do you already feel an important part of the dressing room? Yes, of course. I feel very valued and happy. I'm in the best club in the world. Here's where I want to be. And I'm happy with the people who always support me and the squad. We're all very excited for our growth potential. And I'm happy.
Ferran Correas, sí.
Ferran Correas del Diario Sport. Tú siempre has admitido que te encanta defender.
You always admitted that you love to defend. Tomorrow you'll face players like Mané, Sané, Müller. How do you prepare yourself when it comes to defending these types of players? I prepare myself the same way like all games. I know the players that I'm facing tomorrow. We know that they are high caliber. I think I have already a bit of experience in these kind of games. They're high-intensity games. And I prepare myself the same way as I do all games. I look at their virtues, know what their strong legs are, and that's it. Personally speaking, what objectives do you have this season? Where do you want to improve? I work on all facets, all aspects of my game. I want to win titles. I think that's the most important thing, not just individually, but collectively, and the club. I work on all aspects of the game. I'm just 23 years old. I still have a lot to grow, and I work hard at it.
Hola, Ronald. Bernat Soler, Cataluña Radio. Me voy un poco del partido, pero es una situación que me parece interesante. Muchos jugadores estáis a las puertas de la disputa de un mundial y sin embargo.
A lot of you players are at the brink of disputing the World Cup. How do you combine this? Is there a mental aspect that helps you prepare for that and combine that with the other competitions you play in? Is that something that's present within the dressing room? Not in my case. I'm focused on tomorrow's game. And here, within this club, we have a very difficult calendar ahead of us, particularly the month of October. When this is finished, we'll, think about the World Cup.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Marta Ramón de RACU. Esta temporada y anteriormente te hemos visto ejercer tanto de central como de lateral.
This season and last season we've seen you play as a fullback and a central defender. Where do you feel more comfortable? And how do you see Koundé's arrival, who can reinforce both positions as well? Well, I'm more comfortable as a central defender. That's what I've always said. But if the coach wants me to play as a right back, I'll give it my all, like I do for all games. But yeah, I'm more comfortable within the central defensive position. And with regards to Koundé, he gives us a lot. He's a very talented player. I think the best players need to play for us, the best club in the world, and I'm happy he's here to help us, and he gives us a lot. Also, Christensen and all the new signings, they provide something important for us, and it helps us to grow as a club.
The words there of our defender, Ronald Araujo. For his very young age, very wise words always, fully concentrated on the game, not worried about the competition. He says it gets the best out of each player.
Yeah, what a humble human being he is. I mean, as you said, very, very wise words from him. And at the beginning he mentioned the thing we were talking about, I mean, the importance of keeping the clean sheet,
Well, I'm sure that Xavi Hernandez will be looking forward to a clean sheet tomorrow, and let's hear what he has to say in the press room now.
Bona tarda a tothom. Benvinguts a la roda de premsa del tècnic del Futbol Club Barcelona, Xavi Hernández. Comencem. Torn Juan.
Bona tarda, Xavi.
Bona tarda.
Juan Bautista Martínez, de La Vanguardia. L'any passat, fa 9 mesos, estaves aquí en aquesta mateixa sala.
Last season,
Si no seria un miracle que el Barça guanyi.
you were asked if it would be a miracle if Barça could win.
El més important per tu demà és demostrar que el Barça torna.
For you tomorrow, the most important thing is what? To show that Barça can compete more than getting a good result?
Jo crec que hi ha moltes expectatives posades.
I think there's a lot of expectations placed upon us for this season. I think tomorrow doesn't change anything, whether we win, draw, or lose. We can't draw any conclusions based on one game. We need to wait for the end of the season. But it's, of course, a challenge, and it'll be a big achievement for us to win here. And now things are different from last season. We're better. We've now been working together for 9 months, and we see ourselves certainly capable of competing tomorrow. We are excited, and we have the challenge ahead of us that we can win this game tomorrow and change the dynamics and our history here. In my opinion, we're playing against one of the best teams in the world with a great manager who works his squad very well. He's shown that in the past when he played against us. They've changed a lot, or we've changed a lot. We're in good form, and we want to show that tomorrow. What I wouldn't like is if we lose or win tomorrow that there's massive conclusions drawn. It's just 3 points that we're playing for in the group phase.
Jordi?
Hola, Xavi, buena tarde. Buena tarde. Blanco de ESPN. Falta este partido mañana contra el Bayern, después viene el Elche.
Tomorrow you play against Bayern, then it's Elche, and then the break, and then there won't be any more breaks. until the first half of the season is done. These games, is it important to prepare these final 2 months of the first half of the season? Yes. We've analyzed and planned everything. I imagine we will just be left with 6 or 7 players during the break. We will rest because after that, there's no more breaks. Every 3 games we play a game. And the calendar gets more demanding than ever. Then there's the World Cup. And then the second half of the season, where we need to, of course, have another little pre-season after the World Cup. It's an atypical season. It's for the case for all of us, and we need to adapt ourselves. We need to adapt ourselves to the different circumstances, and that's what's important. We've already planned the season pretty much completely already.
Jo dic, com has dit fa un moment, el Barça només ha guanyat 2 partits dels 13 que ha jugat contra el Bayern al llarg de...
Barça have only managed to win 2 of the 13 games playing against Bayern. Is this a horror house for you?
Sí, evidentment, doncs és el Bayern de Múnich, és el Bayern de Múnich, no?
We're talking about Bayern Munich here.
He viscut les 2 cares de la moneda, per sort.
I've experienced both sides of the coin. I've won and I've lost. Football is cyclical.
Molt bones del Barça, no tan bones d'ells, i al revés, no? Però bé, sí, només hem guanyat 2.
But yes, it's true that we've only managed to win twice.
Que no hem guanyat en aquest camp, no?
And we've never won here in Munich. We know the difficulty of the challenge ahead. But I think we're more than capable of doing so. We're in good form, and we'll see tomorrow.
Hola, Xavi. Germán García, Radio Nacional. Hola. Parece que el técnico del Bayern empieza a estar cuestionado, al menos por lo que se ha podido.
Bayern's manager is being put into question after these 3 consecutive draws in the Bundesliga.
Sigue teniendo un potencial grande, más en los refuerzos que ha hecho. ¿Tú entiendes esa?
Do you understand the situation that the manager of Bayern is being put into question? I wasn't aware of this. Bayern have started the Champions League well. They've got a good squad. Nagelsmann is a fantastic coach. He shows that in the teams he coaches, tactically is a great coach, and tomorrow is going to be a difficult game. They play in a very intense manner. They apply the high press very well. They're very good in many aspects, and it's going to be difficult for us. With regards to him being questioned, it's a surprise to me. It's also comes along with the job when being the manager of such a big team as Bayern.
¿Cómo visualizas tú mañana el partido? Es decir,
how do you visualize tomorrow's game?
Que jugáis mucho al ataque, ellos juegan en
you play a lot on the attack, but you play away in a filled Allianz Arena.
Yo visualizo un partido muy parejo, ¿no? Los dos queremos tener el balón.
I think it's going to be a level playing field. We both want the ball. We both apply the high press. We want to recover the ball as quickly as possible. We suffer when we don't have it. We leave spaces in the defense. So I expect an intense game tomorrow. And we'll fight for having most of the possession. It's going to be an intense game. Aggressive as well, perhaps, during some moments. We'll try to dominate, even if Bayern will dominate the ball. We'll try to have as much possession as possible.
Hoffmann, Sky Deutschland. Xavi, wie haben Sie Robert Lewandowski jetzt die letzten 2-3 Tage erlebt vor der Rückkehr hier nach München?
You've been with Lewandowski since 2-3 days before his return here. Is this the right time for you and him to face Bayern?
Bueno, a Robert lo he visto bien, lo he visto muy bien.
Robert's great. He's calm, he's relaxed, he's confident, he's a natural leader for us, for the team. I imagine it'll be a special game for him, and he'll be motivated. Yeah, I also rested him the other day, which did him a lot of good. He's fresh. And with regards to the moment, we're in the right moment right now, yes. But often that doesn't mean anything when facing a team like Bayern. They're a great squad. And tomorrow we'll try to show our personality and we'll try to compete against who, in my opinion, is one of the best teams in the world. And we'll see tomorrow.
Javier.
Hola, Javier, aquí. Javier Miguel, del diario AS. Ya sé que no nos vas a decir la alineación, pero...
I know you won't give us a starting 11, but I just want to know if you have already a clear idea of who the 11 players will be, or are there still any doubts? No, unless there's any last-minute unexpected injuries. Yeah, I already know who will play.
Hola Xavi, bona tarda. Marcelo Beckler de Sports de Brasil. Tu has fet algunes rotacions la setmana passada.
Last week you applied some rotations. Rafinha didn't play against Victoria Pilsen. He hasn't made his debut yet in the Champions League. Do you think it's a good moment right now for him to do so? Yeah, for me, Rafa is an important player. He's dynamic, who doesn't just help us in the attack, but also defensively. He's very intense and understands how to apply the press. He works a lot for the team. He's a fantastic football player. I have a lot of confidence in Rafa, and if tomorrow he'll be important for us, without a doubt.
Soy João Venturi, SBT Brasil. Lewandowski ha marchado a Barcelona esta temporada.
Lewandowski has come to Barça this season, but Müller has managed to score 8 goals in 7 games against Barça. Do you have any special man marking in mind for him tomorrow? Müller's a fantastic player. He's been playing for Bayern a lot of years, making a big difference. He understands the game very well, both in attack and defense. He's a tremendous leader for his teams, both for the German national side and Bayern. It's always difficult to defend a player like that, but we don't apply man marking. We try to have a numerical superiority over our opponents. So we need to keep a good eye out for the entire team, not just one player.
Hola. Buenas tardes, Frank Ruber de Televisión Española. Esta mañana Nagelsmann hablaba de neutralizar.
This morning, Nagelsmann spoke about neutralizing Lewandowski. Do you think that's possible? And do you have any alternatives in order to get a good result here, if that's the case? Of course, we have Robert with us, and he's very important for us, but we also have other players. Robert also applies the high press very well, has a good understanding of the game. His timing and speed gives us a lot. He understands how to find the free man. He understands the game very well. But not just Robert, also our wingers and midfielders. We have a lot of arms and a lot of weapons in attack.
Marfuste para Jugones de la Sexta. Decías ahora que no quieres que mañana se haga una sentencia en función de...
You said that you don't want any drastic conclusions drawn depending on tomorrow's results, but do you think that tomorrow could be a point of inflection and a way to reivindicate yourselves, and in particular for Lewandowski to show what used to be his fan base that it wasn't a mistake to come to Barça?
Bueno, esto del Barça es cada día, es cada partido. Hay que
Well, this here in Barça happens every game. We have to prove ourselves for every game. The press tend to say that it's always the moment of truth. Like for tomorrow or Saturday in the next game, it's always the moment of truth for Barça. But yes, tomorrow as well. It's the Champions League. It's against Bayern. We welcome all the pressure in the world. For us, it's a great challenge to be here. Last season was not a good season for us. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to compete better. In the end, where things get decided is out on the pitch.
Hola, Xavi. Aquí al teu costat, Marta Ramon de RAC1. Fa la sensació per les teves respostes que intentes
Based on your
una mica la pressió, no? Que
replies,
un escenari com el de demà, també amb el record de l'any passat. A tu
you
personalment,
welcome the pressure.
què et deixaria satisfet de
You as manager, what will leave you satisfied?
tot aquest còctel
Taking into account all of the different ingredients.
En primer lloc és que no podem treure pit, és a dir, amb els últims resultats contra el Bayern.
Given the recent results, we come here with all the humility in the world, but all the recent results and last season, we suffered a lot. We had a bad time here, so tomorrow we want to compete very well. That's what leave me happy if the players show our true potential, which is different from the one we had last season, and leave behind the past results and games that we played against this team. And I think we have a possibility to win tomorrow. We come here with, like I said, humility.
Hola, Keriao de Sport 1, televisión alemana. El Barcelona tiene jugadores jóvenes como
Barça have got a lot of young players like Ansu Fati, Pedri, Xavi. We have players like Davies. How do you see these young players? Musiala and Davies are already having a big impact on the squad despite their youth. They've got great potential. But I would talk about the entire team. They are attacking player, apply the high press, push their opponents back to their half like we do, but they've been doing it for a long time and have very talented young players that make a difference.
Bona tarda, Xavi. Bona tarda. Tornant al partit de fa 9 mesos, l'ambient és totalment diferent. Ja per començar vas jugar sense públic, era...
The last time that you played against Bayern, there was no audience, no fans.
Fins aquí, no? Concretant, què creus que és el que ha canviat més de 9 mesos?
What do you think has changed the most since the last time you played here? You, the mentality of the team, the signings. What is it that has changed from the last time that you played here? A lot of things, but I think the mentality. That day we talked a lot after that game, and I said that we are Barça, and that here we needed to run and show our personality, our character, and give it our all out on the pitch. I think the first 20 minutes went well, but yeah, our mentality has changed. You can lose a game, but we want to impose our style of play because we're Barça. So I think we changed in our personality and mentality. Of course, the transfers have helped and the wins that give us more confidence, but the mentality of the players has changed a lot.
Hola, Xavi, bona tarda. Ferran Correas, del diari Esport. Abans deies que demà esperes un partit molt intens.
You said you expect an intense game tomorrow.
Sobretot quan el Barça ha sortit a Europa i s'ha enfrontat
When
equips grans.
Barça has played away in the Champions League, the results have gone not in your favor.
Lluitar i ser tan intens.
Bé, nosaltres entrenem molt bé. Molt bé, nosaltres entrenem 100% cada entrenament.
We train very well. We train up to 2 hours, and it's very intense, our training sessions. And that's what I like as a coach. And the result will be what it'll be tomorrow. We want to compete, win the duels, and show that we are excited to play this competition. So the attitude has to be there tomorrow.
Ferran Martínez.
Martínez, de Mundo Deportivo. De cara al partit de demà, a l'11 de demà, quan és d'important...
Regarding the starting 11 for tomorrow's game, how much do you take into account the experience of each player?
No, poca importància, l'experiència.
Not so much. I want to choose the players that are in best form, which players are the best to go into attack and defend, if they have good personality, they have a good character, if they apply the high press. But yeah, I want my team to show their character tomorrow. But experience is less important for me. We have some young players that are in great form, and that's what's important for me, and see how well they train. But yes, tomorrow is a game to show our character.
Well, those were the words of our head coach, Xavi Hernandez, and in just a few minutes we'll be going to the training grounds where we'll see the first 50 minutes of the live training session. Not the training grounds, obviously, the Allianz Arena. Wise words always as well from Xavi Hernandez. You get a little bit of tactics. You get it's the switch of mentality he was talking about compared to the game 9 months ago. How he tried to get it through to the players that, hey, you need to come out here, you need to compete, you need to realize that this is Barça, you need to run. And that's on top of the signings, on top of the time that he's had, what he feels that has changed.
Yes, exactly. And also we need to acknowledge that he valued our opponent, Bayern. I mean, how they move, how they defend, their tactics, their coach, Julian Nagelsmann, I'm so sorry. No. In Spanish it will be Julian. So, yes, obviously very, very interesting words from Xavi and also from Ronald Araujo as well.
Yeah, I love how he talks up of the players of Bayern, like you're saying. I mean, it's a cliche when you ask a head coach or a manager to do something like that. When you say, what do you think of Thomas Müller? What do you think he's going to say? Well, no, he's an awful, no, he's one of the greatest players of this generation. So that's the respect that he shows for his opponent. He understands that, and I like how he said that football is cyclical.
Yeah.
It's something that just continues to evolve over time. And so you're always going to get your chance at redemption eventually, one way or another.
But I did like how he says, look, we need to remember where we are. We need that burning feeling inside, also to energize us tomorrow. But we need to remember where we're coming from, what happened in this stadium last year, what happened in Lisbon when we faced them. I'm not going to talk about the result there, but yeah, obviously the record against them, the recent record, isn't good. But that needs to be fuel for Barça. Another topic of conversation in this press conference is Robert Lewandowski. My God, what a start he's had for Barça. We have some footage from our cameras, from our own Barça TV cameras, of the game against Victoria Pilsen in his first hat-trick as a Blaugrana. But he is simply making the difference in every game he plays, Natalia.
Yes, obviously, and also Xavi noticed that he's also a leader for, I mean,
you can just see there, energizing the fans.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he came this summer, but he's already a leader for young players like Pedri, like Xavi, like Ansu Fati, which is also, I think, very, very important. I mean, his tactical skills, his level as a player, I think we can question it. I mean, he's top of the top, one of the best 9 all over the world. I mean, some Erling Haaland fans obviously can argue on this, but yeah, he's an amazing player, and I'm really, really proud as a Pole to have him also in our national team. And yeah, I mean,
and it's not just about the goals. Look at the assists.
Yeah, I mean,
there.
Yeah, delicious technical skills. I mean, the heel pass and the assists, the movement he's making inside the box. I mean, that's absolutely something impressive. And yeah, as I said, I'm really, really curious how the audience at Allianz Stadium will look at him tomorrow. I mean, if they are going to cheer him, to applaud him. I mean, for example, I remember as Pedro came to Camp Nou as Chelsea player, he was applauded by the Camp Nou. So I'm curious if that's the case for Lewandowski.
He gave them 8-9 of the best years that Bayern have ever had in their club's history, and that is one heck of a history of a historic club. So to do what he did in that time, if you don't applaud him for coming back the first time, then you need to reassess your inner your inner self, because this guy is a legend and will always be a legend in Munich, and now he's just going to do it for another team.
344 goals in 375 games for them. 9 in 6 games for us. A wonderful start for Robert Lewandowski, which definitely, once he hits the 10-game mark, compare it to other starts of the season that he's had, and see if it ranks among the best. The first few Barca players are stepping onto the pitch where they'll be playing tomorrow. You can see down in the bottom of the screens, Frenkie de Jong, Marcos Alonso, Kessié as well. You've got all of the players gradually stepping on. We heard Xavi talk about Rafinha, but just to finish off on Lewandowski, the respect that Xavi shows towards Lewandowski when he talks about him in press conferences. He talks about him as a leader, as someone that you can talk with, someone who gives ideas. Just how he understands football. He understands everything that the coach needs. He's a luxury for Xavi to have.
Yeah, obviously, and I think it's important to bring back the memories, because Xavi faced him also as a player.
Yes.
In 2015. And in a very nice game for us. I mean, the first win 3-0 at the Camp Nou. Then we lost at Allianz, but obviously it was 3 goals for Bayern, 2 for Barcelona, and we passed to the final. And as you said, it's a luxury for Xavi to have Robert on his side, and I mean, to need to worry how to, because last year Xavi was on the position Nagelsmann is this year. I mean, to think how to build the defense to avoid, I mean, the goals from Robert Lewandowski, the assists for Robert Lewandowski.
That's what Nagelsmann said, they're going to try and design a plan to neutralize him, and obviously it's going to be a hard task because of everything that Xavi listed that he does. It's not just the goals. Obviously, we as fans focus on the goals, but there's so much that Lewandowski does for the team.
There's a famous saying that I'll never forget. Dan Patrick always says, you can't stop him, you can only hope to contain him.
Exactly.
And that is typically, for Robert Lewandowski, what you're trying to do when you defend against him, because if you go into a game with the game plan of trying to shut him down completely, you're going to find yourself on the wrong side of the result at the end. You're going to fail, because if you focus too much attention on him, he'll make you pay in other ways. He's so good at getting into spaces that allow his teammates to be successful. He's one of those players where he doesn't have to have the ball to help his team win all the time. Now, when he does and he gets that time and space, great. But we've seen his passing, we've seen his distribution, and a lot of players now, I feel, especially with some of the top teams in Europe, they're so good, the number 9s, at understanding where they need to be in order to get the goals that it looks like they're tap-ins, right? I'm seeing Erling Haaland do it a lot this year. Lewandowski is the first of this generation of football to say, I need to be in the right place at the right time, but that's only going to happen if I move without the ball. And he does that better than just about anybody.
Well, we're showing you footage of the stadium in Munich, where Barca are just starting their training session. We saw the pre-training huddle, and over there in Munich is Bruno Ballester. Bruno, can you guess who we were talking about? I'll give you a clue. He's played in this stadium many a times.
I wasn't hearing really well Spen's microphone all the rest of the years on the studio, so I don't really know who was the player that you were talking about. But
he's returning tomorrow to his
okay. Exactly. I was going to say, if it's someone that has played too many years here in Germany, he knows really well this ground. It's really impressive, of course, this Allianz Arena, one of the best European football grounds, I will say, in Europe. And the feeling here is that, of course, after the bad record and the bad run of results against Bayern Munich in all history, but that tomorrow can be the day to change history. Basically for 2 reasons, I will say. The Barca are arriving completely informed to this match, and that Bayern Munich are arriving with many doubts, with Julian Nagelsmann also under the radar, with many doubts, many people from there that are thinking that he probably can say that, can be fired in the following weeks if he doesn't get good results. So there are doubts on Nagelsmann here in Munich. There is a fantastic atmosphere and a fantastic feeling in Barcelona after this great start of the competition, of the Champions League and of the league, of course. So yeah, the feeling from here, at least in these first hours of Barca in the city, is that yeah, tomorrow can be a good day. Although, of course, Xavi also has mentioned it in the press conference room, these are just 3 points from group stage, and of course, I mean, it's an important game, but you have to be taking into account that it's just week 2 of the Champions League draw.
Definitely. Xavi talked about that. We can't draw too many conclusions from tomorrow's game. Win, draw, lose, it's just a group stage game. Obviously, if we win, it's going to be fantastic, and it's a morale booster, and it's a show that we can compete against the greatest teams. But obviously, Natalia, we can't overreact to whatever happens tomorrow.
Yes, but I think it's a first very important test. I mean, tomorrow, the game which maybe will tell us at what point we are. I mean, as a team right now. But yeah, of course, we can overreact because we are going to still have four games to play, and it's nothing. I think nothing is going to be decided tomorrow.
Oh, no, most definitely not. We're seeing 3 of the attacking options on our screens right now: Rafinha, Dembele, Ansu Fati, Bruno. Xavi did say in the press conference that he has decided what the lineup is going to be tomorrow. We do not have any inside knowledge. Obviously, we don't know, but I want to ask the live chat, I want to ask you guys here in the studio, and I want to ask Bruno. Care to venture a guess of what the lineup might look like tomorrow? What do you think, Bruno?
I mean, starting from goal, of course, no doubt at all about Ter Stegen. I will say in defense tomorrow, Jules Koundé, a right back, Araujo, Eric. And I have my doubts there on the left back between the experience of Marcos Alonso, probably too early to start tomorrow as he just played some first minutes against Cádiz, or Alejandro Valde, that of course has started the season completely in form. So yeah, I have a doubt there on the left back. I don't think there are going to be too many surprises in midfield. I'll assume that Busquets, Xavi and Pedri will start tomorrow, and I have also pretty clear that up front the main idea will be to start with Dembele, Lewandowski and Rafinha. That are the ones that have started better the season. For me, the big 2 doubts on the left back, and well, in midfield also I will give some chances to Frankie de Jong also.
Okay, well that's Bruno's guess. He took my 11. I'm going to guess Marcos at left back for the experience as well, playing in a tough stadium. We're just guessing here, guys, just for the fun of it. Obviously, we don't know what it's going to be. But yeah, I coincide with Bruno. That would be my guess as well.
Yeah, me too. I have Balde in my in my 11, and also I'm thinking about in the midfield because my choice, and I think my guess is Xavi, but also as Bruno said, there is always Frankie de Jong. So it depends on what exactly Xavi wants to bring to the 11 tomorrow. But and of course the attack for me is clear. I think it will be Dembele, Robert Lewandowski, and Rafinha. And my only doubt is it going to be Xavi or Frankie or Bardet or Jordi Alba?
I think he has to decide, Xavi does, when and where he wants to inject his pace, because if you put Balde in the first half and he gets himself run a little bit too dry by halftime, then you're going to want to make that change, or perhaps a few of those teenager-type mistakes happen, and you can't have that in the first half in a game against a team of Bayern's quality. Xavi is another example of pace and physicality, and Frankie de Jong is the other option, really, to pair with Pedri and Busquets. So there are 4 midfielders in my mind there for 3 spots. If you put Xavi in the second half, or you put Balde in the second half, that's an option to try and inject some fresh legs onto the pitch. But then again, if you leave Xavi out at the beginning of this game, you might lose that energy you need to start the game. So it's all a balancing act.
It is all a balancing act, and I do insist we are just guessing here in the studio. We have no inside information, and Xavi Hernandez will be the one who ultimately picks the lineup. He said in the press room that he has already decided, barring any last-minute changes or if there's any discomfort to any players. Spence?
Berat on the chat says, Xavi, listen to me. Put Frankie, okay?
Okay.
So he's asking Xavi, so if Xavi can
we'll
hear
try to get the
us-
message across.
Yeah. Well,
You were going to say something, Natalia.
Yeah, can we just say that how lucky we are that we have such great players as
we can
options.
debate.
I mean, we can debate this, and all those players at the top level. I mean, best across the world, and how lucky we are that we have those options. Yeah.
And Bruno, we have Dembélé on our screens right now. What an impact he's having, starting in the lineup, the other day coming off of the bench. Him and Rafinha, the two wings, is something that Xavi has had throughout many games this season.
Absolutely, and if you look at the numbers of Dembélé in this first part of the season, 4 assists, 2 goals the other day against Cádiz also, being an important player. So yeah, he has started the season as one of the top players up front. After a long year, last one, especially since January, because his contract was ending, and his contract extension, his new energy with Xavi, this connection, but also I think with the rest of the teammates, since we knew that he was going to stay more years. It's a new Ousmane Dembélé. He's ready, I think, for these new challenges, and of course he will be motivated to face Bayern Munich, as he spent some good years at Borussia Dortmund, and he also knows really well this ground, this city, and I'm sure he will be especially motivated, and of course it can be a good challenge, that one, in the right, fighting against Davies, also in the right against top defenders like Bayern Munich. It can be also really exciting to see Dembélé here tomorrow trying to be a nightmare for Bayern Munich.
And there is another player, Bruno, who didn't play in Munich last year in that defeat. He was out injured, and who could be one of the keys tomorrow. We've talked about how Barca need to keep the ball. One of the key players in that aspect could be Pedri.
Absolutely. I mean, I will say that a Barca with Pedri or a Barca without Pedri changes completely. He's a really important footballer. I'm not going to say the most important one, but one of the top 3 footballers, I think, for Barca in terms of importance of what he provides you in the game. The other day, for example, I think against Cádiz, we saw also the difference of Barca between the first and second half. He's always really important. And last season was a difficult one for him because he was many months out injured, and he wasn't able to be part of the team in that group stage, where in the end Barca ended knocked out. I will say that with Pedri on the squad on those games on the group stage, probably Barca could have made it into the round of 16, but this is just, of course, suppositions and ideas that we can not go and travel to the past. But I think Pedri tomorrow is going to be, of course, starting and has to be really important and key player for Barca if the team wants to take a good result from the Allianz Arena.
And before we leave you, Bruno, because these first 15 minutes are about to end, we're seeing, we were just seeing the goalkeepers warm up, and how important it would be to be solid at the back with these 4 clean sheets that we've kept so far this season. I mean, it would be ideal to keep one tomorrow, but obviously we are facing tough opposition.
Yes, and Araujo explained it also in the press conference that it's one of the objectives to try and keep a clean sheet tomorrow. And Ter Stegen, well, he knows really well also this stadium. He made probably one of his best ever saves for Barca in that goal in the left against Robert Lewandowski, in that amazing save of Ter Stegen in the year where Barca won the 5th Champions League in the Olympia Stadium of Berlin. So I'm sure that Ter Stegen will be also really motivated after having started this season in an amazing level. Tomorrow has to be important. Tomorrow, for sure, he's going to have some work because Bayern Munich has really important players up front. And Ter Stegen needs also to be one of the key players tomorrow, also to try and keep a clean sheet and get a good result from Bayern Munich in match day 2 of the Champions League.
Right, Bruno, before you leave, let us know the planning for the team from now until kickoff time tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow after this training session, the team will have dinner in the Hilton Munich Park Hotel, just 3 kilometers away from the Allianz Arena. Tomorrow, an activation probably in the morning in the hotel, as they normally do in match days, and then in the afternoon at around 7:30, the team will arrive to this Allianz Arena before playing this game, this cracking game in the Allianz Arena against Bayern Munich, 9 p.m. Central European Time kickoff, and we'll travel immediately after the match. Actually, Munich airport is also closing at 1 a.m., so the team will have to move really quickly after the game to the airport to be back in Barcelona and face that last game against Elche on Saturday before the first international break of the season.
Right, Bruno, we'll talk to you tomorrow, 1 hour before the game here on Barça Live.
Yes, thank you very much, and tomorrow with all the best preview and then the game show commentary and the post-match analysis, the best content on YouTube and on Barça TV Plus as always.
Go and get a beer in Munich, Bruno. I've heard that they're good there.
Well,
right.
I'm actually going to the dinner of the Peñas this night in a traditional thing, a beer place here in Munich. So let's see if the night doesn't end too late, because tomorrow we have to work, of course.
Well, we'll see. I mean, go and have fun with the Peñas, and it's great that Barça are going to have support, of course, in Munich. They're going to need all of it. The players training on the ground. Well, they'll be playing tomorrow at this Allianz Arena in Munich. Obviously not happy memories, the recent ones that we have there, but Xavi talked about it. It's a change of mentality and remembering what happened last year, but not dwelling on it. Just let that burn and create some fuel and energize you for tomorrow.
Yes, and you can't let the feeling they got last year to dominate you. I mean, you need to think that it's a new game, new season. You need to have a cool head. I mean, but also obviously, as you mentioned, the small fire of revenge, which I hope will grow by tomorrow in the team, and let them do pretty well at Allianz Arena.
Got a massive rondo there going on, Spence, now.
Yeah, look at that. What I'm thinking about for tomorrow, the way that Barça play, if they can jump out on Bayern in the first 10 minutes or so, and they don't even have to score, but just create a couple of chances to get them going, I think tomorrow, it's in that sense, it gets them going a lot quicker than if they let Bayern take control of the game early.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Just jump out, go bite a morder, like they say here, and press up high. Try to recover the ball quickly. Create a couple of quick opportunities. Have Neuer have to intervene. Just make them feel on edge at the beginning of the game, and try and take control of the early minutes. Just get that momentum going.
Yes, just to dominate them and to make them feel uncomfortable at their home. I mean, that will be perfect, as Spencer said in the first minutes, and hopefully to also to score. Why not? I mean,
why not?
Why not? I mean, you said that maybe not score. Why not? I mean, it will be nice to score in the first 15 minutes, and I think the moral booster, as you said, that thing will give to the team will be amazing. I mean, score at the Allianz Arena in the first 15 minutes.
And then go home and enjoy some Wiener Schnitzel.
Yes.
Big fan, big fan.
Well, we just saw the first 15 minutes of that training session. Earlier on, we heard Ronald Araujo and Xavi Hernandez in the press room, but they also spoke to our colleague Marc Brau from Barça TV. Let's listen to what Ronald Araujo had to say to him.
Ens atén a la previa d'aquest Bayern-Barça, Ronald Araujo. Ronald, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Bueno, como le he preguntado también al míster, pinta diferente el partido, ¿no? También el ambiente respecto al año pasado. No entramos en el terreno deportivo, pero el equipo llega con mucha hambre, ¿no? Con esa voluntad de poder conseguir una victoria importante.
Are you optimistic for a win?
El partido de mañana.
Yeah, we're excited for tomorrow's game. It's an important game for us. And we're very happy to play this game. We know it's going to be difficult away here in their stadium. in a packed stadium full of their fans. We've got our weapons. We've been working very well. We're on a high. Hopefully, tomorrow will be a beautiful game for us. Champions League. We don't feel the pressure. We know it's a difficult game against a great opponent, but I'm confident in the team's ability. Yeah, we're going to play a good game, I'm sure of it. Are you happy that Lewandowski is now playing for Barça? It'll be a special game for him. Yes, of course. We know of his quality. We are happy he plays for us. He's been helping us a lot since the beginning. He's a great player and a great person. I'm happy he's on our team. What's the secret of this excellent start of the season? It's been 5 consecutive wins since the draw against Rayo. What is the secret?
Like
I said, since Xavi's arrival, we've been growing game by game. We've got a great squad. We've been working hard, believing in what the coach has been asking of us. And we have very talented players, both or in all areas of the field. Things have changed since last season, and I'm happy that we're in this good dynamic.
The pre-game assessment there of our centre-back Ronald Araujo talking to Barça TV before the training session. And Araujo convinced that it's possible tomorrow to keep that clean sheet.
Yes, especially he's a player who witnesses and who played last year in those both lost matches, and I think he really wants the revenge, and yeah, I think I'm quite convinced, quite sure that tomorrow the team can do it, the team can win, and hopefully. I mean, this is not only the feeling and the mood of Ronald Araujo, but of all the players.
Yeah, if the mentality for him last year was such that he was getting his feet wet, he was working his way into a regular every game starter for the club. This year now he's attacking it with more confidence. And that's when we're talking about trying to get at it the first 10 minutes. If he is at the back line, along with potentially Eric, Koundé, you know, these Christensen, Piqué, these defenders back there, they're all capable of stopping counterattacks because of their speed and power. And he's now got the confidence to go along with it, which can be a very scary thing.
We've just heard from Araujo. Let's hear from our head coach, Xavi Hernández, who also talked to our colleague Marc Barau from Barça TV+.
Com és habitual a les prèvies dels partits europeus, ens atén Xavi Hernández. Xavi, què tal? Bona tarda.
Bona tarda.
Bé, pinta diferent a l'any passat això, no?
It's a different game from last season.
Arriba de forma diferent.
The dynamic has changed. You're more confident than last season. How have you prepared for this game? Do you think it could help consolidate mentally this team? Of course, the climate has changed a lot. And last year we arrived at this game with not a lot of hope. Now we're in great form, confidence. We're playing in a difficult stadium. We haven't won here yet, so it's a challenge for us. We want to compete against the Bayern Munich side, who I think is one of the best teams in the world at the moment. We're very excited. We face this game with a lot of humility, and we want to compete to get the 3 points. Unfortunately, you can't play against this team, but Lewandowski will. How is he ahead of this match? And in what will be a special game for him?
Bé, no deixa de ser un partit especial per ell, no?
Of course, it'll be a special game for him. He arrives to what was his home for 8 seasons. He's going to try to focus on playing a good game. He's been helping us a lot. He's got so much humility and works so hard. It'll be special for him, but also for us, given the bad results we've picked up here. And we want to show that we are in a good moment. Bayern don't play with Lewandowski. Xavi said Lucas will play tomorrow. That was confirmed by Nagelsmann. What about, do we expect any surprises for us? Mane will certainly play tomorrow. And we want to make sure that we cancel the way they play. They play similar to us. They play similar in the midfield. They apply the high press, and it'll be a difficult game to play. But for the fans, certainly it'll be very exciting.
The feeling of the team only a few hours before to play this important game. It is a special field that Barça have never won here before.
Well, the feelings are totally different from the last season. No, we are in a good moment. We arrive without lose any game. It's totally different. But of course, we are playing in Bayern Munich Stadium. It's very difficult. Never in the history we already win here. So this is the moment. It's a challenge for us, and let's see what happens tomorrow.
That's the idea, right?
Yeah, this is the moment.
This is the moment. We've never won there. This is the moment.
Why wait?
Yeah.
Xavi, obviously, well, as he said in the press room, we need to remember where we're coming from. We need to remember what happened last year. But it's a whole new world. He even talked about how different the weather is. It was snowing there when we went there last year. The sun was out today. So it's a whole different experience for Barca this year, going in with this winning mentality, helped by this good run that we're on.
Yes, as Xavi said, the expectations have changed completely. I mean, last year it was like, maybe can we win, can we draw, something like this. And this year, I'm thinking of us as the favorites of this game. I mean, why not?
Why not? Why not? I mean, Spence, Xavi did answer your earlier question there about the expectations going into last season's game. He said last year was a tough moment, low expectations. This year is completely different. It's completely the opposite.
Expectations can lead to a lot of different reactions after the game is being played, and the reactions following this game are going to be drastically different than what we saw in December of last year.
But Xavi did mention and insist in the press room, let's not overreact. Whatever happens tomorrow, let's not overreact. Win, draw, or lose. Let's not take too many conclusions. It's just one game, one group stage game. Guys, we're just over 24 hours away from this Bayern-Barca game. I'm quite pumped. We're going to leave it here and come back tomorrow. We're starting the show 1 hour before the game. We'll be live at the Allianz Arena with Bruno there giving us the lineups, and then we'll be live for you on Barca TV Plus, on YouTube, on Facebook, with all the game reactions, game commentary, entertainment. Come and experience the game with us, because we're going to have some fun, I feel, tomorrow.
Yeah. Spencer, are you going to dance tomorrow?
If the Barca score, you're darn right I'm going to dance. What I also know is we need some good luck charms tomorrow. So prepare for your good luck charms. Yeah. One way
we need all the good luck in the world tomorrow heading into this game, but I'm sure we're going to be very competitive.
Bring your avocado socks.
Natalia, Spence, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, see you.
All right, and to all of you, those of you watching, thank you very much for sticking with us in this show in which we've shown you the press conference of Ronald Araujo and Xavi Hernandez, and the training session to prepare for tomorrow's big game in Germany. Bayern Barca tomorrow, Barca Live, 8 p.m. local time. Be sure to be there with us. For now, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.